Hello everyone, Fanta here, and you are watching Fantavision. Now, I briefly wanted to talk about arcades and just how they've kind of devolved over time. After going to Dave & Buster's and being able to play Unlimited for the entire day due to having a Game On Expo Pass, it was kind of neat seeing all the different and new arcade games that are out there. And there were some that were a lot of fun, don't get me wrong. All the Nintendo games that were there, like Mario Kart Arcade and Luigi's Mansion, oh my god, that was such a great arcade game. A little bit short, but it is an arcade game, so I guess that makes sense. But, oh my god, the production value, the visuals, and the gameplay itself was just phenomenal. When you were playing Luigi's Mansion, you could feel the coins hit the back of the vacuum. It was so cool, just the tactile feel of playing this game. It really immerses you, and it's got like a lighting system up above, so it's constantly giving you cues of what's going on in the game. It was so atmospheric and just exciting, and it was an experience that you couldn't have anywhere else. Same with Mario Kart. It was so much fun to be able to race people next to you, and it takes your picture and you can see the picture of their face zipping by as they're passing you, and oh my god, it was so much fun. But then there's other games like Doodle Jump, which is a game that hasn't even been popular on the cell phone for a couple years. And then there's like Crossy Roads. Why is that an arcade game? And then, of course, they just had to have it, a Flappy Bird clone game. Why are these arcade games? It just doesn't make any sense. And there were so many of these random games that just did not belong there. You could tell that there were phone games that were just ported to the arcade, and poorly at that. And I never saw anything that bad when I was a kid. Now, of course, there were those, cheap ticket-based games, like there always have been. But phone-based games just feels like a whole new low. And it's unfortunate because I want the next generation to experience the same fun and enjoyment I had at the arcade when I was a kid. But unfortunately, with all these games that are just throwaway, crappy, PS1 graphic phone games, it just doesn't make sense why it's there. I was there just as a brief example of a game that's been kind of downgraded. When I was a kid, there was a game called Arctic Thunder, and it was so much fun. You're on snowmobiles, you can play as a Yeti, you're shooting rockets at each other. It's just mayhem, and it's awesome. Now, there's like kind of a child nerfy version called X Games, and you're on a snowmobile, and you throw snowballs. And the graphics were as bad, if not worse, than Arctic Thunder, which is now like a 10-year-old game. Actually more than 10 years old because they ported it to the original Xbox. So it's like a 10, 15-year-old game. And there was another one where you're on a motorcycle, and back then you're on a motorcycle, you're leaning with the motorcycle, and you could hit people with chains and baseball bats, and it was crazy. Now they have the same game, but they don't have any of the actual violence or any of the action of that game, and it's just a boring racer with the same graphics from back then, but none of the fun. It's just sad seeing the arcade in the state that it's in. I mean, the Mario games and the Luigi Mansion game were a ton of fun, but that's two games out of the entire arcade that were really that much fun like it used to be. Now, there was a couple light gun games that were reminiscent of past games that were a ton of fun, but they just, I don't know, there was something about them that just wasn't the same. It's not that I'm older, it's just the game itself had a little bit of a difference to it that just made it feel cheaper. I don't know, it's hard to explain. There was one that was a lot of fun that was almost an exact copy of the one from the past. I don't remember the name of it. You're seeing footage of it right now. You kind of push on a little step, and you pop up from your shield, or you go into your shield when you push the step, and you reload, and it blocks enemy fire. But unlike the past game where you kind of had to rely on visual cues and strategy, this one would straight up just tell you who it's going to be shooting and exactly where to shoot. It kind of dumbed down the last game. Whereas before, you kind of had to look at the boss and see where the weak point was and try to figure it out yourself. This had this huge arrow just telling you to shoot in a specific area, and that's just unfortunate. I don't know. Plus, the unlimited passes don't really exist anymore unless you're planning a party. And the prices are so much more expensive than they used to be. I remember an unlimited pass at GameWorks, which was my local arcade. It was like 15 bucks and you could play for like 8 hours or something crazy. It was from a certain time till close, and it was so much fun. You could spend an entire day there for 15 bucks. It was great. Now they're just charging ridiculous amounts per game. It was like 9 credits for some of these games. I don't even know what credits transfers into, because it's not quarters anymore or real tangible money. You spend money from your credit card, it goes onto this card into like a different currency, and it's so convoluted and hard to keep track of. And you don't have the option to buy these unlimited passes anymore, unless it's like a special promo or like your birthday party, and that's just unfortunate. I love the idea of having an unlimited pass at an arcade. That's what made it fun. So I'll dive into this topic again later. I just wanted to kind of, briefly mention my thoughts of what arcades are like now, because after going to Dave & Buster's, I was both happy but very disappointed at the state in which arcades are in now. So that's my 2 cents. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of arcades nowadays, or if you've got a really cool arcade near you. I've seen barcades popping up, and I'm definitely going to talk about that in the future. But yeah, thanks for watching. As always, have a fantastic day. If you guys liked the video, leave a like down below and subscribe for more content. See ya.